Is drinking raw milk safe like RFK Jr. suggests? Can you reduce a glucose spike if you eat your food in, quote-unquote, the right order? I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp. I host a nutrition myth-busting podcast called Bite Back with Abby Sharp. And those are just some of the questions I tackle with qualified experts on my show. There is so much food misinformation and disinformation out there, and it can feel impossible to know what's real and what's BS. On Bite Back, my goal is to help listeners create a pleasurable relationship with food, their body, and themselves, which in my opinion is the fundamental secret to good health. Listen to Bite Back wherever you get your podcasts.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
15 degrees out there right now, heading to a high of 26. Some rain in the forecast for today. Actually, I think if they haven't changed it, there's rain in the forecast a few times this week. But we'll see. Anybody ever talk that mentions the rain right now goes, we could use a lot of it, but...
not enough. It's not going to be enough.
And you know when that conversation came up? Father's Day yesterday, talking to Pops. His grass was a little dry in his garden. And that was the lead conversation, right? Because that's what he's got going on in his world right now, right?
Nobody trusts it either, the forecast right now, because, you know, it's just been that run of weather where it's like I had this exact conversation with my wife last night. Is there rain coming? Should I go out and water the garden? And I'm like, well, it's in the forecast for tomorrow. But, like, do we really trust it's going to happen, and is it going to be as much as they're saying? So, right. And just to give you an idea, as of last night, about 8 o'clock, Weather Network had the rain starting at 9 a.m. this morning. That has now been pushed back to noon.
Well, yeah, I mean, the drive in, it was clear sky out there this morning. It looked really nice.
But they're still saying 5-ish millimeters once it does start. And then,
hey, listen, you know what? Here's the funny thing. I don't know if you've had this conversation, but I'm sitting there. My dad's 84, like yours, same age. And I said, well, hey, the Weather Network, the app says it's going to rain. And he gives me a look. He says, 84 years old. You think I needed an app to tell you what it's, you know what I mean? He's got that look like it's Father's Day and I'm still going to get a life lesson about what the forecast is going to be.
So does he still watch where does he get his weather? Is it from the newspaper? Is it from the weather on TV?
He's got both.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think just from experience, he goes, it's not going to be enough rain to even soak the grass.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you and I are going, hey, 5 millimeters. He doesn't need to know how many millimeters. They just know.
He knows that's not enough. Doesn't need to look into the deep analysis on the app.
No.
But so mine, when I go there, they're either the news is on a lot when I go there. These 24-hour news stations have been, revolutionary for them. Because they love watching the news. And then my dad will gripe about the sports not being on. And he has to wait for my mom to go and do some shopping. I'll throw on the sports when she's out. Is the golf on today? So it's either news, sports, or like a lot of weather will be on the TV.
100%. I told you. I think there's one TV still in the house that I'd love to donate to somebody, but you won't be able to see really much of the picture because the numbers are embedded from the Weather Channel still on the screen, right? They're burned through now.
The Weather Channel. That old school Weather Channel. So there. Good.
I'm telling you.
And the newspaper. I know your old man still gets a newspaper, like the physical newspaper. I love seeing that thing spread all over the kitchen table when I go to my parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, same, man.
Yeah, he's been through it all, man. They tear it all apart. Like it's every section of the Free Press is all over that kitchen table.
See, my mom's been gone for a while, so it's just him, right? And he's got it laid out, and then there's the one flip and everything. But at your house, I mean, I'm sure your mom's got a section, your dad's got a section. They don't have to talk to each other till noon.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
All right, Dennis the Menace wants to talk parking here.
Good morning, 92 City FM, Philly and Joe. Okay, I went shopping. I shouldn't have to say this, but obviously people are stupid. If you park in such a manner that your right front tire and your left rear tire are on different parking lines in a parking lot, otherwise known as incredibly friggin' diagonal, and you walk away and you see that you're parked like an idiot and you don't change it, that makes you a big idiot. Sorry for the F-bomb, Philly, but Come on, people, learn how to park. Let's go, Big Blue Bombers!
Yeah, that's an odd one in a parking lot, especially one where parking is really limited, and you'll see 2 or 3 or 4 spots that aren't available because somebody parked way over the lines.
Yeah, they just kind of turned in and said, okay, I'll get out of my car right now, not worrying about
Do you think
sharing the lot.
So do you think those people know
Oh, yeah.
that was a terrible parking spot?
It's got to be. If
but
they
don't care?
then how did they pass their driver's test in the first place? Like, I have to believe it's a no-care attitude.
Because I think, yes, but then there's also a percentage who just are totally oblivious to how bad they are at parking.
Then, like I said, I worry more about other traffic issues with these people.
Good point. All right, moving along here. Gas prices comes up from time to time on a bone phone.
Hey there, I got a huge bone to pick with these gas companies. How in the name of all that is holy and good can Shell on Route 90 have their gas at 111 and Superstore in Transcona has their gas at 129? Somebody answer me how in the world this is possible.
Yeah, Joe, I have no idea. Gas prices, I mean, who can figure that one out?
I've always wondered myself because certain areas are pricier than others, not just the two that this gentleman mentioned, and it makes no sense to me because the gas came in at the, like what? So you drove an extra 20 minutes to drop it off. How could the price be more?
And I'm not that guy who's going to drive all over town looking for, like, you drive by. Yeah. I don't know if you are, Joe. I'm a creature of habit. I've got my gas stations I go to.
Have you just met me? I drive the same route every day to the gas station. I don't veer from that route.
But I'll drive by Costco and it's lined up 10 cars deep to get gas. And good on those people looking to save a buck.
Co-op, too, because of the rebates, right?
Okay, before we get to some calls about the upcoming 92-1 city race, bone phone regular race against me, before we get to calls about that, this is an interesting call about customer service here that I want to play.
Let's just call a spade here. Everyone wants to keep these cashiers at the grocery stores jobs. Well, you got to at least say hello and goodbye. You can't just look at the person and expect them to read your mind. This new generation, the young ones, 16, 17, 18, speak up a little bit, or there will be robots replacing you within 5 years. Customer service has gone downhill. Let's try to keep a little bit of what's left in 2025. And they almost look at us like, why are you here?
I get that. I have had that one before. And it's not all of them. It's not all of them, but the odd grocery store or somewhere when you just look to make the smallest of conversations. And and the look is, what are you talking to me for?
Oh, man. Customer service, though, at so many different levels. Where I find the biggest problems are the phone ones. When you got to dial in and you're waiting a very long time because you know that there's only a couple of people working, not their fault.
Yep.
That's just the way it's going. But when you get on with them, they don't have any answers for you anymore either.
Yeah, no, exactly. Someone on the text line says, where do you see a 16-year-old working customer service? I think he's just talking about, like, at a grocery store or something, or wherever, big box store or something when you're paying for something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I took that phone call. I don't know if I'm misinterpreting it or not. Okay, now to the race. It's much ballyhooed, much talked about, a potential race. Iron Mike's back today, the boss, so, he's gung-ho. And we expect to start ironing out some further details.
By we, you mean him.
Yeah.
They don't leave us to the detail.
No, never. We suggest, especially me, we suggest a lot of things. But as far as organizing, not so much.
Hey, Philly, I wanna see that wiener dude there join your little race, eh? How about it?
Wiener, is he talking about Hot Dog Guy?
I think Hot Dog Guy said he wanted in on the race too, did he not? One of our regulars?
He's in good
on the
shape, Hot Dog Guy.
Yeah, he might not fit the criteria for this.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he's barbecuing hot dogs. How about that?
And let's wrap with Vinny, who's been he's very interested in this race, but he needs more details. You know Vinny.
More?
Like he's cobbling this together day by day, and I think he's gauging his own interest in it.
Yeah, how you guys doing? Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Oilers, but everybody's getting pumped up for that race. Yeah, I was going to say, I'll talk about the others in a sec, but is there an age limit? Like, you guys should have an age limit. My can't think of. No, I'd say between 45 and 65. Is that all right? 'Cause like Philly says, you don't want a 21, 22-year-old.
Right.
Like, he'll kick our asses, and he'll win the race. 'Cause I'm 64. I don't know how old is Philly. Probably in his late 40s, I'm guessing. Joe, maybe 50. So, Joe can't do it. He needs clearance, so I get that. I'm sorry to hear that. But anyways,
That's nice.
yeah, so there should be like an age limit from, like I say, 45 to 65. If you don't agree, then maybe you guys can make your own age limit.
Joe had a great idea where Joe could be, as you walk into the race to register, Joe is gauging your calves and how ripped your calves are. Well, look at these calves, buddy. You run. You clearly work out.
Vinny is onto something, though, because that came up last week, too. There has to be some kind of age requirement because, let's be honest, you're at that point in your life, like you're not jumping on a bike. You're not running, jogging. You barely walk, right? I mean, you coach hockey.
That's
right. About your biggest activity.
Yeah.
On a consistent basis.
I'm not a regular runner.
Right.
So and so I think
that's what we want.
Yes.
For this. This is the average person race.
That's right.
Kind of thing. So, Vinny, you're on the right track. That's not a bad demographic either, 45 plus.
We'll iron out the details as we start taking submissions. We have a few people who are like locked. People who are saying, you've got to let me in. Guys like Guilty. Guilty's already sending us photos of himself working out.
Yeah.
I'd like to get Vinny there. I'm not sure if Vinny's...
Yeah, Vinny said he's 64. And I'll tell you what, we met Vinny. He's in good shape, man.
He is. There's no,
very good.
Very low percentage body fat on Vinny.
Very low. Very low. He didn't even get to the Oilers like he said he was.
That's tomorrow.
But there's not... Okay,
Vinny's
save it for the game.
Yeah.
Save it for the game.
Day.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Angry chef, happy chef, depending on the day here. Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. Your job, I'm assuming, is to make the city flow properly. And right now, your decision to possibly have the most construction going on at one time in the city, I've never, ever seen it this busy. What exactly was going through your head when you were planning this? Could you not have possibly spread this construction out a little bit more? I understand we have a short window to do construction, but seriously.
It's a lot, but it feels like, every summer, same complaints. It wasn't like, there was a lot last summer as well.
Right.
Work's got to be done.
Right. And the same complaints as last year that some areas, why are they doing it all at the same time when detours have had to be made? Those are the calls we've been getting.
Sure. Okay. Dennis the Menace wants to talk about parking lots and poor parking.
Good morning, 92 City FM, Billy and Joe. Okay, I went shopping. I shouldn't have to say this, but obviously people are stupid. If you park in such a manner that your right front tire and your left rear tire are on different parking lines in a parking lot, otherwise known as incredibly friggin' diagonal, and you walk away and you see that you're parked like an idiot and you don't change it, that makes you a big idiot. Sorry for the F-bomb, Philly, but come on, people, learn how to park. Let's go, Big Blue Bombers!
Yeah, and it was because we play the bone phone, the calls at 6:20 and 8:20, and after we ran that call at 6:20, we got plenty of reaction to piss poor parking and how it's just you're not maximizing the space that you have in a parking lot when you're just parking outside the lines.
Yeah, we're getting people saying about door dings. Some are just douchey in the way they park. Just kind of zip right into the parking spot with some reckless abandon on how their car ends up. They don't care, what's next to them. And I mentioned this earlier, and it's true. A lot of these parking lots, I don't know whose vehicle they used to mark the lines, but they're not wide enough
Looks like
for even a car.
Looks like a golf cart.
Yeah,
spot.
basically. Yeah. Oh, hey, we can fit. Well, let's see here, 48 golf carts instead of
That's so
48
true.
cars, and it's like so when your tires are right on the lines on both sides of your parking spot, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gas prices.
Hey there, I got a huge bone to pick with these gas companies. How in the name of all that is holy and good can Shell on Route 90 have their gas at 111 and Superstore in Transcona has their gas at 129? Somebody answer me how in the world this is possible.
Yeah, it's weird. The fluctuation, I have no idea.
Yeah, and it continues. And you mentioned earlier, like Gas Buddies, or somebody mentioned Google. You can get the price of all the gas. You know what I miss?
Yeah.
Those gas stations, they used to have the sign up, and it wasn't so much about the price. It was what you would get for filling up there. Like I remember Domo years ago would have seeds, right?
Yeah.
Then Petrocan had like Olympic glassware, if you remember. Like, so you'd come over, like I had an uncle, like if you went over to his place, he had the whole set from Petrocan. It was like the tall, then the rocks glasses and
Why don't
and the
they
mugs.
do that
And
anymore?
that gimmick was great.
Domo used to give you the Kubasau in the glass.
Yeah, you could get all kinds of
How
stuff.
wild is that?
So, is there any gas station out there that's actually providing a gimmick, like a prize?
Let us know. I bet you some small town gas station still does it.
That would be great.
I would go to that gas station if you're
Take
giving
a
me
ride out.
a free beer mug or a tumbler or something. All right, moving along. Here's a call about customer service and lack thereof, I guess.
Let's just call a spade here. Everyone wants to keep these cashiers at the grocery stores jobs. Well, you got to at least say hello and goodbye. You can't just look at the person and expect them to read your mind. This new generation, the young ones, 16, 17, 18, speak up a little bit, or there will be robots replacing you within 5 years. Customer service has gone downhill. Let's try to keep a little bit of what's left in 2025. And they almost look at us like, why are you here?
I'd like to hear somebody who works in customer service or in that demographic defend themselves.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
On the bone phone.
I'll tell you what. We are going to have some good calls about gas stations and what they provide.
Are we?
For a fill.
You think they're coming in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're coming
how
in.
about the text line? Is there some coming in on
No,
the text
that's where
line?
they're coming in, on the text line.
On the text line.
Sorry, yep.
Okay, well, we'll get to those responses after 8:30.
Customer service?
Customer service.
We're going to turn that frown upside down, because when you hear what these people are doing when you fill up with gas, that's good customer service.
Let's go. I can't wait. Okay, now back to the race everybody in Manitoba is talking about, the Bone Foam, the 92-1 City 100-meter dash. We got some calls about it. The excitement is growing.
Hey, Philly, I wanna see that wiener dude there join your little race, eh? How about it?
So we don't have a wiener dude who calls in. We have a hot dog guy. Is that who he's talking about?
Yeah, I think it's hot dog guy.
I don't think hot dog guy wants to be called wiener dude. It's specifically hot dog guy. But we've met hot dog guy. He's in very good shape.
Oh, he's too good.
And he's bordering on too good.
It's a novice race, is it not? It's just
he looks like he could be
a pro,
like a professional. He's really, he works out all the time. He's put together.
Let me tell you about hot dog guy. He's the ringer that you bring in, for the office softball team when you're playing the competitors across Canada, and you just pretend that he works for your company.
Yes.
That's who hot dog guy
And
is.
he just kills everything for
Ringer.
a home run.
He's a ringer.
Okay. And Vinny continues to ask questions about the race. He's got to be in it. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, how you guys doing? Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Oilers, but everybody's getting pumped up for that race. Yeah, I was going to say, I'll talk about the Oilers in a sec, but is there an age limit? Like, you guys should have an age limit. My can't think here. No, I'd say between 45 and 65. Is that all right? Like Philly says, you don't want a 21, 22-year-old. Like, he'll kick our asses and he'll win the race. Because I'm 64. I don't know how old is Philly. Probably in his late 40s, I'm guessing. Joe, maybe 50. So, Joe can't do it. needs clearance. So I get. I'm sorry to hear that. But anyways,
Thank you.
yeah. So there should be like an age limit from like I say 45 to 65. If you don't agree, then maybe you guys can make your own age limit.
Well, yeah, age is going to factor in, but I think as Joe keeps pointing out, shape of the calves, like are the calves
That's
ripped?
usually a telltale sign is what I'm saying. Like usually that's step one. I will say this, blood tests. I think I'm going to start asking for blood tests too.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
And also on the Boston Pizza text line about parking. Sometimes it's because the previous person before you that makes you park on the line. Then, of course, that person leaves before you, and you look like the bad guy. That's a great point. How often you show up, there's 1 or 2 spots left, and they're all out of whack outside the lines, and you have no choice.
True enough. And listen, in all fairness to drivers, there are some parking lots that somehow the owner of those strip malls and that has decided that these cars aren't the same size as the ones we're driving. Have you noticed that one?
They're tiny.
Yeah, they're tinier. And I'm going, wait a second. Like, what year were these? Like, are these for bicycles?
For more Philly and Joe, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
Good morning, 6:45. Philly and Joe on a Monday morning.
Yes, the start of a brand new contest around here. Another 92.1 City World Tour. Linkin Park, Vancouver, British Columbia. And I believe the trip itself happens this fall. Does it not, my friend?
Yes. I'm just looking. Oh, I see it. Do you want me to give you a hint when it'll be, Joe? The song
trip
of the day?
Oh, yeah. The trip's in September, by the way, at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Song of the day is the way we're going to play this through. That seems to be the easiest way, right? The Linkin Park Song of the Day. When you hear it, you text 762-555. You want to take the heat on this one?
Iron Mike's back today. This is usually your area to take the heat, but I'll take it today. It's looking like it's between 7 and 7:30.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you listen for the Linkin Park Song of the Day. When you hear it, text WIN, W-I-N, to 762-555 to enter, and you're in to win. Pretty simple. Want to thank our friends again. Wild Planet, Winnipeg's largest selection of music and band T-shirts, posters, and merchandise. And I'll tell you, quick story yesterday. The youngest one pulls into the lot, and he's got this unbelievable Led Zeppelin T-shirt on. He's a medium.
Yeah.
And I was going to, for the first time, I was going to take a shirt from him. And I said, wow, that's a hell of a shirt. And I said, where did you get it? He goes, the store's called Wild Planet. And I said, I know the store on Osborne. And it was a beautiful Led Zeppelin shirt. I was envious. And I'm going, wow. Kid's got some cool taste.
It tells me that, if you like band shirts and you're not exploring Wild Planet, you're doing it wrong.
They got all kinds of great stuff there.
I have purchased so many shirts there, and what I love, and I said it last week or the week before, and I'll say it again, you can go to their website and you can peruse hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shirts.
Yeah.
And what I do is I just jot down I'll come up with 2 or 3 that I want.
Yeah.
I walk in there because they got boxes and crates of shirts in the back. It makes it so much easier for them. The name of the shirt and the number, product number. I'm like, here's the 3 shirts I want. And the girl working, this was a while ago, was like, wow, you come prepared. And I'm like, wow, I might as well make it easy for you.
Yeah.
And there she comes back with the 3 shirts I want. And it looks like you were at the show sometimes, these shirts they have.
I'm going to be totally transparent. The Metallica poster I had on the back of the door is now gone. My wife would not let me keep that. It's from there.
That was a no-go. Hey, listen, we got this on the text line. Good morning, Philly and Joe. Can I get a shout-out to my wife, Kelly Stetler? It's her birthday today. She would like to request San Quentin from Nickelback. That's from Selkirk Steve. Well, lucky for you, Selkirk Steve. She's got great taste, and that's a great song. And we had it coming up anyway.
Happy birthday, Kelly. How about it?
The Philly and Joe podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
I got to tell you about this because I'm thinking maybe now. When are you cleared to golf again?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I go for my post-surgery follow-up on July 8th, pretty much 2 months to the day I had my surgery.
Okay. So he could give you the all clear to resume your golfing career at that point.
It's funny because you never realize how many people in your life have had a hernia until you tell them you've had hernia surgery, because I've had people tell me that they were golfing within the same season, depending on when it was. I've had some tell me they had to take the whole year off, so I guess it depends on what type of hernia and how long. But I'm still not able to lift more than like 10 or 15 pounds. There's not much. Yeah.
Like they've ordered you not to do that?
Yeah, that was in the fall,
wow.
like what they give you information-wise. What a great summer it's been so far.
Well, that sucks. And I give you credit. You came back to work quick. You've heard.
Yeah,
we've also
4 days.
heard. We've also heard stories of people who will have no choice but to take 3 weeks off.
Oh, yeah, we had a guy we used to work with, and he took 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it wasn't physical labor. He was basically working on a computer, like
so we were
very smart guy.
So we were prepared for you to be gone for a while, but you were back in that chair, quick.
Well, even the surgeon looked down before the surgery while they were, starting to feed you the anesthesia, and basically said, "Remember now, not too much heavy lifting," he says. "But I do listen to you in Philly, so I'm not too concerned."
He wasn't too
The guy
worried.
gave me a shot before. It's like wasn't too concerned about me coming back soon with a tear or something from lifting something.
Throwing bombs at you. Okay, so keep us up to date on the golf schedule, but I want to tell you.
I am going to do food and beverage, though. That's what you're talking about, aren't you? You're talking about the race? That's why I can't golf?
Oh, the running race.
Yeah.
I
thought you were
no.
gonna- oh, okay.
I know you're on food and beverage for that. I was going to say that when you're ready to start golfing, we purchased a golf net for the backyard.
Oh.
So we can, it's like our own little driving range
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there in Canterbury Park now. The kids mentioned it. That one of my oldest, he's decided he wants to get into golfing, and he said, "Oh, one of my buddies
That's cool.
has a net and a surface to hit balls in the backyard. Dad, can we get one of those?"
You have your own driving range now in the backyard?
Kind of. You can't
Wow.
really. I mean, to me, you can't really see how bad you're shanking it. Sometimes it feels like a good
Well,
drive.
yeah, but it's more about repetition, right?
Yeah,
Into a net?
getting the golf swing
Wow.
down. And so I wanted to like the boys love it. They're out there all the time, and in no time, I'm hoping we'll be on the golf
Well, I
course together.
might need to come there for rehab.
That's what this whole story was about. That when you're ready to start rehabbing and
Okay.
get that golf game back in order, come on over. We'll have a few beers in the yard.
That'll be good for the shot. Who's going to worry about the shanks?
Joe, when are you coming over to hit balls in the
Until
backyard?
all of a sudden, I'll tell you when you shank a ball, you'll know when it breaks the neighbor's window.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Joe and I on the hunt for a gas station that's going to give us,
Some value for your
value-
money outside
value.
of gas.
like the old days when you'd go to a Domo and get a hunk of Kubasa in a beer mug, that type of deal. Do those gas stations exist out there? The Boston Pizza text line, you're saying that we're getting some action on this, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, there was, I still remember Petrocan having some form of mugs and also glassware, right? Like from Hockey Canada or something back in the day. Like, could have been like the Canada-Russia series or something, right? They had that. Esso used to have hockey cards, if you remember.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. But also, Domo had plant seeds, I remember, because
Domo had it all the
a lot.
time.
They had the
Yeah.
gimmicks. Well, a couple people have said there's a few gas stations in town right now. I can't verify the gas stations, but they give you a slushie or like
free Slurpee.
Slurpee with a fill. Someone also said they saw scratch tickets going on. I don't know if how that happens, but if there's any legalities to that because of liquor and lotteries. But isn't that cool?
Well, I'd like to see something. I mean, I believe when you were talking about glasses and mugs, there used to be a situation where you collecting a whole set. Like one
Yeah.
week you'd get one tumbler.
They'd advertise it, a tumbler. That's right, Phil, the tumbler.
Always the tumblers. And the next week you'd get another one until you had the whole damn set. Now that, little bang for my buck on how expensive gas is.
I'll tell you, and I remember driving my dad crazy about getting gas at a place because let's say if you wanted the hockey cards from Esso, right? The power packs, I think they were called or something, and then you would just Okay, and can we go to, it's out of the way. There wasn't one close. Yeah, Team Canada hockey coins were awesome, too.
Oh,
there was a lot of great gimmicks. The Olympic sets, yeah.
It's certainly not as big of a deal as it used to be.
No, I don't think anybody's
sure.
given out, like, anything outside of what we've heard, like a couple of the drinks if they have the convenience store.
Give me a hot rod. Like, I'll take a beef steak, like pepperoni or something at the.
That's right.
Free with my fill.
Domo had wine glasses at one time, too.
No, we
got a case of them to use at our head table at the wedding when he got married in 1996. Attaboy.
At your
so
wedding.
Good.
The Philly and Joe podcast.
Can we talk about this tortoise that's 135 years old and just became a dad?
This is one of the greatest stories of all time.
135. He celebrated.
135.
Yeah, Goliath, 517-pound Galapagos tortoise in Miami, celebrates his 135th birthday and his first Father's Day on Sunday.
Now, you told me earlier off the air this tortoise moved to Miami from where? New York? That area? Like many seniors do.
He arrived at the Bronx Zoo in 1929 and then moved to Miami in 1981. I love how the story makes sure to mention that he's been with several females during his time in Miami.
Quite the stud, Goliath.
But he never had any kids. And then finally, Sweet Pea, his new girl, who is estimated, by the way, to be between 85 and 100.
Oh, so not bad age discrepancy, really.
If she's 85, I mean, then you're getting a little, where it's not quite Belichick and Jordan Hudson, but it's 85 to 135. That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
But if she's 100, because they're not sure, then it's not as bad.
Well, I'm assuming Goliath is retired, where Belichick's not yet.
That's
either.
true.
He could have.
Belichick's still working.
But so Goliath at 135 is having his first child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
his first baby tortoise.
Does he realize all the stress that comes with that comes with this? At 135, he's a tortoise already, so they're not moving quick. A 135-year-old tortoise, for sure, 517 pounds. He's chasing around kids now.
Well, chasing might be too strong a word for a tortoise, but he's moving around and going, oh, my God. But Al Pacino, somebody on the Boston Pizza text line, says he might be in the same situation, which Al's quite up there, too. It just became a dad. A little overwhelming, I'm guessing, at 135 to become a father for the first time. And
you got to think, Goliath. It's a lot to throw at him.
What are you doing now? Now you're starting to put a little resp together for the kid to go to college or another zoo at some point.
All things he would have never had to think about.
It was his first Father's Day yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Right?
That's insane. This is the oldest first-time father for any animal in recorded history. I got to be honest. I didn't know, and maybe it's just like a known fact, but that tortoises get that old like that.
Well, somebody just said Google Finding Nemo. The main tortoise is like 150 years old and still young. Still young.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine?
135, first child.
I wonder if any joint pain or anything at that point in life, too. And
For
now,
a tortoise, you got to think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to think.
You can't get to that old and not have some pain.
Would one?
I'm 51. Like you always say, you're like at our age, it's getting out of bed is tough.
Yeah.
I've got to see how much this guy's moving around. And
I'm just guessing. From the tortoise and the hare story I heard when I was younger, it wasn't moving that fast.
No. So as they get older, that's got to be why they live so long too, right? There's just not a lot of movement going on.
Easy peasy.
All right. Well, congratulations though to Goliath and Sweet Pea.
Somebody said they don't move quick enough all their life to have joint pain.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
More than 50% of drivers, the biggest reason we have a bone phone, more than 50% of drivers don't know how to do this.
50% of drivers don't know how to do this.
Yep.
780 City, 780-2484. You can use the text line or you can use me for a lifeline if you'd like. Good morning, City.
Morning. I'm going to guess zipper merge.
Not zipper merge. No. Good answer.
One, though. There'll be no shortage of guesses for this one.
No.
Right? With all the complaints. Hello, City.
Good morning. I'm going to go with parallel parking.
Not parallel parking. That's a good one, too. So maybe the key thing here is the number. 50% of drivers, so half, do not know how to do this.
So there's a lot of people that do know how to do it, in other words, right? Hi, City.
Good morning. I'm going to say use a roundabout.
No.
That would have to be seniors. Poor seniors on roundabouts. Oh, man. They just stop a lot of times, I noticed. Yeah. Hi, City.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. You got a guess for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go with back up a trailer.
No, that number's probably higher than 50%. That's a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And doing it in front of people? Like, some people are just so experienced at it.
Well, camping, right?
I pull into a campsite one time, and the people who were camping next to us just decided to watch me try to pull it in, back it in.
Anxiety. Oof.
Hello, City.
Hey, how about put on their headlights?
Not their headlights, no.
That's a good one, especially nowadays. You see more and more of that. 780 City, 780, 2484. We've got a hot air balloon ride up for grabs, as well as a GC from Red Top and Manitoba Tasting as well up for grabs.
How you use their signal lights?
No.
Thanks for playing. Is this something in the motion of driving, Joe, or could it be something else?
Well, the number one answer is in the motion of driving. The other is not.
Okay.
The second answer.
So the correct answer is, in fact, in the motion of driving.
Yes.
780 City. Hello there.
The answer to the question is boost a car.
No, that's that was the second answer, but not at 50%. No, jump starting a vehicle.
So we're all around it here.
Yeah, this is in motion.
In motion.
Yeah, more than 50% of drivers don't know how to do this.
Man, the text coming in.
Jump starting now seems a lot easier because of things like Google and YouTube.
Yeah,
now, as far as being able to do it, yeah.
A lot of people have figured out how to do it, sure. Hi, City.
Merge with the traffic?
Merge.
No.
Not merge.
It's more of a technical thing in your vehicle than it is actually the act of driving.
Okay. Hi, City.
Good morning. Poor boys concrete coming up.
Is this PB3?
That's PB3. That's me, buddy.
Okay.
Now, your last comment there, Joe, kind of threw me off. So I think I might. Do we have any more lifelines here?
Oh yeah. You can use Philly
perfect.
or the text line.
Philly, let's go, buddy.
Okay, I was going to say this. It also came in on the text line. Use the cruise control.
Hello.
Yeah.
More than 50% of drivers don't know how to set their cruise control in their vehicle.
That amazes me.
Well, be Philly.
Where are you guys working this morning? You out of town still, or are you back in town?
I got home there on Friday. Me and the boys, we were at 3 Days Grace and Volbeat.
How was that?
You guys. Oh, it was such a killer show, man.
Okay, good.
Second time seeing Volbeat and knocked it out of the park. But we're actually just loading up to head to Thunder Bay today.
Oh,
wow,
safe.
T-Bay.
Yeah.
Try the casino out there. It's pretty good luck.
Safe.
Well, I'm feeling lucky today.
Yeah, no doubt. Safe travels, and you guys are the winners. Congrats.
Thanks, fellas.
For more Philly and Joe, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
Have you seen the photos on the text line this morning, Joe, from Guilty?
I've seen a few photos come up.
He's showing off his calves. Have you we already got the photo of him training the other day for the potential 100-meter race, 92.1 City. The distance is not completely official yet, but it appears, it's going to happen here with a Bone Phone regular race, 92.1 City. And the gist of it is, can you beat me? Because I'm going to be in it. You would be in it too, Joe, if it wasn't for the hernia injury, I believe. So
I am looking after... we need the orange drink to make it official. Some kind of orange drink. Haven't figured out what yet. And we'll make sure there's some snacks and that kind of stuff. But listen, Guilty threw out there that you will be losing to a senior in this race. And Guilty's in good shape. Now, I believe he just recently had surgery a few months back, too. But he's been doing a lot of walking. He works out.
Look at the picture. He sent us a picture of his calves.
Yeah, they're in good shape.
He's trying to intimidate me.
You're in trouble.
Guilty? Come on.
Vodka and orange. That should be the drink. Yes, it should be. You're right.
Yeah. So I preferably, if it's still available, that giant jug of McDonald's orange fluid is what we want.
Yeah, I mentioned it to our promotions department if they can check with McDonald's promo department because they used to bring that out to different events. I don't know if McDonald's still does that or not. And then somebody mentioned to me, hearing us talk about it, that it's essentially the orange Fruitopia drink choice you have or something at a McDonald's. Is that not the case? Somebody else said it was like orange Fanta.
It's like syrup.
Yeah.
That's what they used to bring out.
Yeah.
The orange syrup for Orange Crush.
In the big jug.
Like non-carbonated, though, just the syrup.
Yeah, if
right?
worst comes to worst, we'll get some Gatorade. I don't know.
So T. Kona says, forget it. He'll have a slice and rum. So T. Kona is not participating. That's fine. Look, And I don't know, like my wife was suggesting that we do it on grass so people don't get hurt, like if somebody falls down. But you think that just a standard track would be okay?
I would hope.
As far as
I
no
would
injuries?
Think, well, just because you have the lanes drawn out and that kind of stuff. But
50 meters.
Your wife would know better than me. She runs.
I think 50 meters should be the race. 100 seems long.
It does, doesn't it?
It does seem long. I'm just worried about injuries. We don't need somebody passing out.
There might be waivers in play. I'm sure Iron Mike cut his holidays short to get back to the city before we, burn the place down.
Tell you what, I'm going to go to the park tonight and try to run 100 meters. If I find it super simple.
Please let me know.
Maybe I'll video. I haven't done any training runs yet. Guilty's in full training.
Text me.
He's the only one we've gotten training videos from so far. But we've had a lot of interest in this.
Even Vinny at 64 years of age.
He's asking a lot of questions.
And I don't even know if Vinny owns a pair of shorts. When we've met him, he had the full he had jeans on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
it was summer.
Well, I think that's the whole beauty of this. I think there'll be a lot of jeans. Like, I don't think Vinny's showing up if he decides and agrees to race. He's not showing up in shorts, like a track outfit like he's in the Olympics. He's showing up in his jeans and his jean jacket. That's kind of how I view this.
Corey on the Boston Pizza text line. My wife says we need to get their permission first before we go do this race.
So our wives? Is that what he's saying?
Well, I would at least make sure you get your life insurance policies up to snuff, just in case.
Well, that's what I mean. I just don't want any injuries. Bob Burt, is he going to be involved? Somebody's asking.
The Bob Burt Mafia is still out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, once we iron out the details, a location, a spot, then we'll start taking submissions.
It's a limited edition race, too, because there's only so many spots.
Uh-huh. Do you think Guilty's too well-trained for this? Do you think he get,
yeah.
He looks like he's in good shape.
I think he might have you.
Is he over 60?
Yeah. Guilty. Guilty's lived a life, trust me.
Yeah.
He's got the scars to prove it.
Okay.
But he's in great shape right now, and I'd have to ask him how long he's been actually in shape. Like, you know what I mean? Like how many years it's been.
And does he actually
quit drinking? He's cleaned up.
Okay, I better get on this then. I can't waste another day of not training.
There's 3 things he's looking forward to right now that I hope I'm not speaking for Guilty, but I can tell you right now. He's looking forward to Rock and Thunder with Def Leppard.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to a golf tournament in August as well. And he's looking forward to this race and kicking your ass.
Yeah. That's what it is.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.